Well, here we are, and you may be wondering why we haven't done any videos lately. I've been out of commission. I have a little problem with my elbow, and I'll show it to you because it's not half as bad as it was before. This is the bursa sac, I believe. Is that right, Gary? You've done medical work before. You understand these things.
Yeah, I knew lungs, not elbows. Yeah.
But you can see it's what we call Popeye elbow, and it's from overplaying, I believe. I have horrible tendonitis right there, and it's not been good at all. So I've been trying to cope with that, and it's not a pretty sight. So you can imagine it was about 3 times bigger about 3 weeks ago. So, and I have some little calcium things going on in there, and who knows what. So I haven't been able to play much, and it's really affected everything that I do. So I don't know. It's just part of the game of doing this for a living and doing it too much. Sometimes you can hurt yourself. So, but my friend Gary Zimnicki you recognize, and he has a new guitar for us to take a look at. So we have a guitar that Gary has built here for a customer wanting a little bit something unique, and this is definitely it. Tell us about it.
Yeah, he was looking for a 15-inch wide archtop, so quite a bit smaller than standard, which...
And the L5 being
17
inch.
And he wanted a really pretty wide neck on it because
like
he primarily plays classical and an old parlor guitar that has a wide neck. So those were his big concerns as far as the physical dimensions of it. I made the body a little extra deep.
It looks like it.
Yeah, it's 3.5 inches at the edges. 3 or 3 1/8 is more my standard. But because it was a smaller width, I figured the extra depth would probably help improve the sound. And also on the soundboard, you can see I put the F-holes way out to the edges, trying to maximize the amount of vibrating soundboard that is so important to producing the tone of the guitar. Those F-holes on this one are actually farther apart than they are on my 17-inch guitars. You know, I've made a few of those L7 inspired instruments. These holes are farther apart than that.
They are also kind of small looking, and it's hard to believe they get that much sound out of them, but they do. And you use bird's eye maple, which would normally make it very bright. Making it deeper is how you control the brittle sound, I guess.
Right.
So.
Yeah, and a deeper arch too. It's not just the depth of the side, but the arch itself is carved pretty deeply.
Both the back and the top are pretty.
Yeah, and the top on that is Adirondack red spruce, which I had laying in my shop for about 20 years.
You got a beautiful tonality out of this. It looks like you added a little bit more heft to the bridge too.
Yeah, I tried that intentionally. I did that intentionally because my customer's big concern is he didn't want the guitar to sound like his L5.
I love the L5s, but
well,
he was looking for
was looking for something that wasn't quite so brittle sounding.
Right, and sustains a little bit more.
Yeah, sustains more and doesn't have quite the same note separation that you characteristically hear in an archtop. And what I found over the years with building archtops is if you have a beefier bridge, both the bass and the part where the strings make contact at the top of the saddle, that tends to warm up the tone a little bit, which I knew was what he was looking for.
Well,
so
it worked. It's got a lot of sustain. It sounds almost like a flat top. It's hard to believe. You've done that with a couple of your archtops lately, and very, very nice tone and a good overall guitar, not just you know, a one-trick pony. So that's a very nice box here. And the tailpiece is a little bit thicker too than the one on my guitar. So very, very nice guitar though. Beautiful inlays.
Yeah, and he wanted the same inlay pattern as on those L7s that I've done. There are 3 butterflies on the tailpiece and 1 on the truss rod cover, just to personalize it a little more for the man.
That's beautiful.
was going to point out the bindings are all curly maple with a lamination of koa.
Wow.
So all around the body, that darker brown line is koa, and then running up the neck, it's a 5-piece neck, and it's made of curly maple and koa also.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
Very nice. Let's listen to the sound.
Okay.